Hey everyone, my name is Yair, and this is my first YouTube video. And for today's video, I'm going to make a hip-hop vinyl collection video. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. I'm very nervous right now, but I'm just gonna push through it. So yeah, let's get started. So before we get started, I just want to give a disclaimer. I'm just a beginner, so there's a lot of things I don't know, so forgive me if I use some wrong terminology in this video. And I also wanted to give a special thanks to a few YouTubers that make vinyl collection videos. These people inspired me to make this video. Thank you to Kira Was a Driver, Capricorn's Very Own, Aaron It's Speaking, and Fancy Memo. Appreciate the inspiration. So at the moment I only have 5 vinyl, and I kind of want these videos to show my progression as I collect more, and to go in chronological order and share my favorite songs from each album, and just kind of share some backstory I have with each of these albums / vinyl. So the first one I got was Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. This one I actually got at a Target for it was like a Black Friday deal or something, and I actually didn't listen to this album until this year. A lot of things have been said about this album, but for me personally, I just really love it. I love the story that Kendrick tells in this. My favorite song at first was The Art of Peer Pressure. Again, he just showcases his beautiful storytelling, and after a few months into listening into this album and really digesting it, I really loved Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. A lot of people I've watched also say that this is their favorite, and just one song that I just don't see being mentioned enough is Real. I really love that song. I really love the feature on it. My backstory just with Kendrick in general is that I just never got around to listening to him. Middle school, I was a really big Drake fan, so I was really caught up in the rap politics on Instagram and whatever. So yeah, I just never really listened to Kendrick, and that was a really big mistake because this album is incredible. I'm starting to realize why people call him the greatest.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am the greatest rapper alive.
Got this at Target. It is a clear vinyl. It's the only colored one that I have so far. This is what it looks like. I think it's really cool, especially for the price. Yeah, this is Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. So the next album I actually got with Good Kid, Mad City, and it is Swimming by Mac Miller. Rest in peace. I really enjoyed this album when it came out, and I still do. I still play it to this day, and I just really love the chill vibe that this album has. I really love how emotional it is. It made me realize that Mac Miller just wasn't a rapper. He's more of a musician and artist in its purest form. The first song that I fell in love with was Ladders, and over time I really started enjoying Wings. I think that's my favorite song by him, and I also really loved when he did the Little Desk concert. That just made me fall in love with the album even more. It's a standard black, nothing too special, but yeah, I really love this album. It's the first Mac Miller project I've actually listened to in its entirety. I listened to him back when Good AM dropped, but I just wasn't feeling it. But I knew there was something about Mac Miller that I liked, and I finally got around to listening to Swimming, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller. So the third vinyl I actually got for Christmas, and it is Childish Gambino's Because the Internet. I'm actually a little bummed out that this isn't the original one. I think this is just like a reissue or repressing. I don't know what exactly you call it, but it doesn't come with a script, which sucks. But this is actually my favorite album of all time. When I first listened to this in middle school, again during that 2013-2015 era, I didn't understand it and I didn't really like it. I always knew there was something about this album that I was just missing. So I always kept it saved, and during quarantine, when I had a lot of time, I listened to this album and I really enjoyed it. I really love how it touches upon just the internet, social media, relationships, and just loneliness and existentialism. This is just a standard black. I don't think there are any color variants or colored vinyl for it. Every song off this album is amazing. When I first heard this album, when I first started falling in love with this album, the last two tracks were my favorite. Earth, the Oldest Computer, This Is the Last Night, and Life, the Biggest Troll. But as I started listening more to the album, started reading the script, started watching the videos that go along with the album, just diving into this multimedia world that is Because the Internet. I really loved Telegraph Ave, Oakland, and what's the other one? Fly of the Navigator. I play these songs almost every day and I feel like it's just amazing. I also want to give a shout out to the Dissect podcast, which did a whole breakdown of this album and just elevated it to my favorite album of all time. But yeah, this is Childish Gambino's Because the Internet. The fourth vinyl that I got is actually by an artist that is hated on the internet often, and he actually retired with this album, and this is Logic's No Pressure album. This is the alternative cover. I saw what the original one looked like and I didn't really like it, to be honest. The gatefold, the inside didn't really have anything, and I just felt like it was really lazy. So I decided to go with this one. It's just a standard black, nothing special about this. Like the other albums I just talked about, this album grew on me over time. I didn't really like it at first. I feel like when I heard this album, I was kind of tainted by the albums that came before it by Logic, like YS4 and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Those weren't really my cup of tea. I feel like Logic's lyricism was kind of not there. I feel like his lyrics were just being recycled and he didn't feel inspired. But when I heard this album and as I've heard it continuously, I've started to love it. I feel like Logic finally has his holy grail of his rock diamond, in other words. I feel like Under Pressure, his debut project, and his sophomore project, The Incredible True Story, and now this, his last album, No Pressure, is incredible. I don't know if I mentioned this album's called No Pressure. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. My favorite songs off this album, at first it was the intro, No Pressure intro, and Amen, but with time, I really enjoyed Hit My Line and Open Mic Aquarius 3. I feel like these are like some of Logic's best songs ever, and I also really like Dark Place. I really love how just Logic in general has been emotional and very open with his music. I love the references and homages he pays to other hip-hop artists. Personally, I haven't listened to hip-hop for that long, but I've been educated through this album, and that's something that's very unique about it. Well, for my fifth album, the one that I just got, also Logic, and it is his debut project, Under Pressure. This is the standard edition. I'm personally not a big fan of deluxe editions. I enjoyed the deluxe edition. I enjoy the deluxe cover, but personally, I don't feel like the songs on the deluxe did it for me. I feel like over time I kind of stopped listening to them. So I decided to go for this one, and I just love this album cover. I feel like it's amazing. I love the warm colors on this. I love Big Lambo's handwriting here and track listing. This one comes in a standard black. Arguably this is Logic's best project. If you like the intro, it's his best intro ever, and top 5 Logic song for me. It encapsulates who Logic is as an artist. He is an uplifting guy. He's very positive and just like he works really hard, and he's very inspirational, and that's what this song is all about. There's no skips on this album. I really love the instrumentals on this album, the story he tells, and when I first listened to this album, I really loved Buried Alive. I would listen to that song non-stop all the time, and just over time I really loved Under Pressure, which is the second to last song, and it's actually, I believe it's his best song ever. I really love the transitions from the first instrumental to the second one. First one's very has a lot of energy to it, but then the second one, it kind of chills out, and he just tells a story of just his relationships with his parents, with his sister, and his outro is also really good. Yeah, I totally recommend this album if you haven't listened to it. I recommend all these albums that I've shown you guys. I really love the inside as well. That's something I also like about collecting vinyl, is that there's certain things that you don't get by having the digital edition or even the CD. But yeah, this one I really loved. This is the last vinyl that I got. And that pretty much wraps up this video. I still feel very awkward doing this and looking into a camera. I'm very camera shy, so this is kind of a big moment for me. But thank you for watching, and I don't know when I'll make another video. Actually, I plan on making another video when I collect my next 5 vinyl. So yeah, stick around for that, and peace.